生贄を一人。じゃんけんで選びましょう。負けた子はベルンをたっぷり超外して笑わせて殺されて1分1秒でも時間を稼ぐ。それでいいわね。
じゃんけんはいらない。俺がやる。エンジェとラムダは鍵の部屋へ行って。
ダメよお兄ちゃん。
I got this.
私がやるわ。元はといえばこれは私の責任。ベルンカステルの言葉に耳を貸し心を許した私の責任なのよ。だからあいつに一言くらい言ってやりたいのよ。
Both Battler and Angie decide to be the sacrifices that wouldn't listen to the other.
ね。じゃんけんじゃないと決まらないでしょ。さっさと決めないとこの作戦も使えなくなるわよ。もうじき連中がやってくるわ。
分かった。俺かエンジェが生贄をやる。ラムダデルタは残った方を連れて鍵を奪ったら黄金鏡に連れ帰ってやってくれ。
譲らないわよお兄ちゃん。
ふざけやがって。たまには兄らしいことをさせやがれ。
時間ないわよ。じゃんけん一発勝負。私超パーだからそれにちなんで最初はパーからね。
Super Pan, goddammit.
いい二人とも。
I'm ultra scissors.
いいわ。
エンジェ。
せーの、最初はパー。
It really was a stupid kid's game of rock, paper, scissors. Since they'd promised to start with paper, there was a chance to make a surprise attack and use something else. However, both Battler and Angie chose rock. And yet it wasn't a tie. Thanks, Lambda. Because in addition to those two rocks was one person who chose scissors. After staring stupidly at their fists, those scissors, they looked at her. Oh my god, stop making me like you.
最初はパーだからチョキ出して一人勝ちしてやろうって思ったのに。
Stop it.
やっぱりパーはパー出してなきゃダメね。
Stop it. There had been no reason for Lambda Delta to join in on the game. This wasn't the time for a joke like that. Battler and Angie, each trying to lose, chose rock. Lambda alone chose scissors.
あんた、わざとチョキを。
Oh, of course not. I was trying to trick you. Stop it.
お前に死なれたら俺たちは黄金鏡に帰れないだろうが。
I can guarantee you I won't die.
こんなの無効だ。
Say it.
ほら、これで大丈夫でしょ。
Lambda made a clenched fist. A palely glowing fragment appeared there, and she gave it to the pair of them. No, don't do this. Stop it. Battler had seen one of those before. It was a magic fragment, like the one Erica had used before disappearing, which would allow one to cross the sea of fragments.
それがあれば、二人とも黄金鏡に帰れるわ。
Oh god, stop this.
それに、これが一番の人選なのよ。あんたたちじゃ、ベルンを相手に数秒と持たないだろうし。私なら、1時間どころか、ひょっとしたら勝っちゃうかもね。あの子には借りがあるし。今度は私の勝ちってことにして、イーブンにしないと。アウェイは辛いわね。
Lambda pretended to complain as she stood up straight.
私目立ちたがり屋だから、やっぱ感激者は無理だったわ。
Oh my god.
私目立ちたがり屋だから、やっぱ感激者は無理だったわ。ごめんね、出番を奪っちゃって。あんたたちのゲーム、最後まで感激できないのは残念だけど、もう筋書きは教えてもらえたから見る必要もないわ。
ラムだ。
Then, with her broadest smile and a wink,
あんたたちのハッピーエンド。もう先が読めちゃったから見なくても分かっちゃうわ。じゃあね、また会いましょうね。あんたたちのハッピーエンドのクレジットロールでね。待って。
Lambda snapped her fingers and the two of them turned into Konpitu candies. She picked them up, took aim at the glint of the golden key and flicked them away. That way that they should be able to reach the key without Burn noticing. Dang, what terrible luck. What were the odds of them both playing a rock against my scissors? Yeah, I know. It wasn't nice of me to test you like that. Sorry, you two. And then Lambda's body was lit up by an emerald green light. How's it going? When she turned around, the cat's eyes and Lambda's met. Lambda grinned and waved. There was a fierce roar and several bright flashes. What? The chain of explosions flashed by one after another, enveloping Burn and her pack of familiars in an instant. They were multicolored fireworks, or rather multicolored candy that burst into a flash and scattered everywhere. Countless stick candies, sugar sculptures, cookies, and tarts flew in every direction, and each one of those split and exploded into hundreds of candies. Each of which exploded again into a cloud of konpitu. Oh my god. However, those sweets weren't sweet. Konpitu was heavier than lead, harder than steel, and stronger than sharper than any blade. As the colorful cloud exploded outward, it blasted the entire pack of cats into little bits. The emerald green glints that were scattered everywhere sparkled like the night sky. And among them danced the cloud of pretty candies that looked like they would go well on a Christmas tree. It was sufficiently outrageous and beautiful and cute to mark the great witch and Lady Lambda Delta's appearance on the screen. Party sucked.
愛してるわベル。愛のささやくなら二人きりの方が素敵でしょ。
Stop.
それはあんたの両手両足をもいだ後にゆっくりと聞かせてちょうだい。
With a jerk of her chin, Burn ordered her familiars to attack.
私の愛しい愛しいたった一人の友人よ。両腕の肘から先、両足の膝より先。自由に食いちぎって構わないわ。それ以外に傷一つ許さないわよ。
The crown of cats undulated again, formed into a single mass, and became the emerald green leviathan that would swallow up any poor victims that snuck into the city of books. It was shaped like an impossibly vast whale. Like a leviathan. However, what it looked like a whale from Lambda's perspective. She probably couldn't see anything except an immense mouth about to swallow up everything.
素敵。私をベルンの愛で飲み込んでくれるのね。
愛してるわ、ラムダ。あんたの手足をもいだら、お尻から鉄串で貫いて、私のベッドに飾ってあげる。そして毎朝目覚めのキスを、そして毎夜お休みのキスをしてあげるわ。
本当に素敵。じゃあ私もあなたを愛で包んであげる。
However, Lambda Delta's war cry was swallowed up by the glowing, writhing leviathan in a single bite.
ダムだ。あんたのその向こう水で命知らずでほんのりパーなところが大好きだわ。風。
The same instant Lambda Delta was swallowed up and Byrne was sure of her victory, the latter felt a slight breeze playing with her hair. The countless sweets that Lambda had sent, flying like fireworks and which drifted about like the decorations at a Christmas party, were flowing. No, they were covering on a single point, converging on a single point. It's like watching a firework run backwards. Countless sweets rapidly contracting around the vast closed mouth of the Leviathan. A gigantic reverse explosion concentrated on a point inside it. Or perhaps it was more like countless candies showering the Leviathan from all directions like bullets. Inside that massive green was a black swirl. That swirl was on a palm, who wore a defiant smile. It was a mass of a super concentrated gravity, a fucking black hole. All of the sweets and cats, the whale, and everything else is being sucked into that one point and crushed. She can create fucking black holes now.
抱きしめてあげるからいらっしゃいベル。
私を吸い込む気。
All of the candies Lambda Delta had scattered were getting sucked back into the black hole in her palm at an unbelievable speed. The reverse explosion of the oncoming candy whittled away at the Leviathan, crushing it inwards. With all her strength, Byrne held her ground in midair, trying to resist the supergravity. For the first time, all traces of condescension had left her face. Even Lambda Delta's cocky expression was marred by the sweat trailing from her forehead. Because their power was so overwhelming, any victory would have been instantaneous. If either relaxed in the slightest, they would match each other's strengths and get dragged into another dizzyingly long fight that could last for centuries. Neither of them had any desire to go through that again. So neither of them showed the slightest mercy for their most beloved friend. By now, the Leviathan had been completely crushed and compressed inside the black hole. Byrne was the only one still holding her ground. However, a windstorm of candy asteroids like the asteroid Belt repeatedly slammed into Byrne, wearing away at her girl's form bit by bit.
逃げなきゃ。私本当に。
The next thing to fly into Byrne's range of vision was a comet pelting straight for her with a massive present box at its core with a cloud of candy surrounding it. You sound a little upset there. The candy comet wiped out Burn along with her scream. It burst into little bits, then within a blink of an eye, it was sucked back into a hole of supergravity. Once it was all gathered into one place like a gem, it began to spin rapidly. It was flattened by the centrifugal force, turning into something whose shape resembled a galaxy. After swallowing all of the cats and their master, it now looked like a wiggling, flickering emerald green galaxy that floated just above Lambda's palm. The pocket of supergravity kept compressing it further and further, until at the end it had become a single green, shining compitu. Fucking don't eat it. Then it fell down onto her outstretched palm. Fucking throw it as hard as you can.
ごめんね、ベル。あなたといつまでも遊んでいたいから、いつもは必死なふりしてほどほどで遊んでるけど。
Lambda held the compitu above her head and peered at it.
私、本当はどうしようもなく強い
No
の。
shit.
ごめんね。
Hacks. Then she pressed the compitu to her pink lips, gave it a light kiss and bit down. Oh my god.
ベルの味がしない。
Beautiful. Lambda licked her fingertips, then turned the face to the empty air behind her. Throw it.
知ってたわ。
Never mind.
愛しいラム。
She wasn't even in there.
ああ、愛してるわ、ベル。
嘘よ。あんたがいつだって私に本気じゃないって知ってたわ。
じゃあ、本当に愛し合いましょうよ。お互い本気で。
No thank you.
ああ、愛してるわ。ラムダデルタ。嬉しいわ。本当に嬉しいわ。
愛してるわ、ベルンカステル。あなたを飴玉に変えて、永遠に私の舌の上で可愛がってあげる。
どちらが勝っても私たちは愛し合えるのね。それって本当に素敵だわ。それって本当。
さあ、愛し合いましょうよ。
With a crash, crack lines appeared across the sky of the Golden Land. Then finally the barrier of the Golden Land was breached by the fleet's assault. It was a bizarre scene, more ridiculous than anything anyone had imagined. The sky of the Golden Land shattered like glass and the fleet of sailboats flew into one another. One after another. They were crowded with goats pushing each other and spilling off the sides. Banquet. That wasn't some fancy metaphor, but a simple statement of fact. The overwhelming surge of goat troops came in like a tsunami. The residents of the Golden Land who stood defiantly were like a forgotten sandcastle on a beach. A fight between a wave and a sandcastle is not a fight. This was a banquet for the oncoming Vikings, and at a stand-up meal, the ferocious, merciless goats. All those who could use magic fired it off at once. With a shout like a thunderclap, the goat tsunami rushed forward. Everything collided at once, and there was a brilliant and terrible explosion. Sparks and smoke, flying splinters and screams. For just an instant, the fierce magical cannonballs fired by Beato, Virgilia, and the Chiser sisters seemed to halt the goat tsunami in its tracks. And then the wave came. However, their numbers were so great that they didn't even flinch. The goat wave continued to walk over the corpses that had been blasted away or which had fallen to their knees in weariness. Never want to be the first on the storming. The mound of corpses piled up, and still more goats were shot down as they tried to cross it. So that in a few seconds, it really was tall enough to be called a tsunami. Don't want to hear it, Erica.
完璧に打ち寄せる無力なさざ波を思うがいい。波に飲まれる砂の城。飲んでみろよ。わらわの城よ。
Beata lifted her hands, telling the pair of battle towers that had been hidden deep in the ground that the day of glory had come again. Oh yeah, I haven't seen those in a fucking while. The goat tsunami looked up at it in shock. After all, this time the tsunami that towered over everything wasn't them. A thunderstorm of rapid-fire ballista rounds left from the battle tower gun ports. The goats let out a confused scream at the furious tempest that was bearing down on them. However, they saw something else too. Fucking Virgilia as well. In the sky above the tower was a reaper astride a divine horse and backdrop by the moon, a massive spear the size of a tower in its hand. The great witch sitting on the horse by the reaper spoke.
お帰りなさい。ここはあなたたちの世界ではありません。いっちまえ、お師匠様!
The heavier spear pierced the ground. For an instant, it looked like some divine tower was sticking out of the ground. However, there is the very last thing those eyes ever saw. The sacred spear was embroidered of heaven's wrath, and the strength to bury an unclean city in a single stroke was unleashed upon the pack of goats. With a massive explosion that resembled a volcanic eruption, goats were sent flying all over the place.
やるわね。さすが魔女だわ。でもどうかな?
No. We have to hope to God Angie hurries up.
敵はまだまだ来るわ。やっぱり飲み込まれるのは私たちなのよ。
にしちゃん、あんたたちは楽しそうだわ。
祭りは楽しまねば損ということだ。どうやら我らの出番がなくなるということはなさそうだぞ。みてえだな。燃えてきたぜ。
Yes. The crowd of goats truly was like a wave pressing in from the sea. You might be able to split a ripple on the beach with your sand, but you can't split the sea. Witches could. However, that meant that the other side also had one who could split seas. Yeah. Suddenly, smoke poured from one of the towers, and the ground shook as it rumbled. Erica's not pleased with that. Tower, that is.
なんだ一体。あそこよ。もう一方の塔の上。エリカ。そうだよな。今度はそなたの番であるよね。
At the top of the other tower, Erica stood gracefully wielding her scythe.
これで黄金鏡の魔女たちへの敬意には十分でしょう。魔法などすべてまやかし。 ミステリーに飲み込まれて必ず消えるファンタジーの砂の城。楽しかったですよ、魔法ごっこ。なんだか幼かった頃、近所のお姉ちゃんたちとこんな遊びをした気がします。だからもうこれでおしまいにしましょう。ここからはあんたたちが絶叫を聞かせてくれる番です。
Erica threw that pretentious pirate hat she had been wearing this whole time into the sky. No! I liked it! With the moon behind it, Erica's form, her afterimage, vanished from the tower's peak.
どこに？
Oh, right there.
レーダー捕捉してます。あ、戦闘兵器面。
Shaking, oh my god. Shaking with the wind, a joyous laughter, Erica dashed straight down along the side of the tower. She swung her scythe like a baton as she passed along the wall and the gun ports. Walls, pillars, and everything else was crushed, leaving a trail of smoke. So from the sidelines, it looked as the line of smoke suddenly split the tower from top to bottom. The golden arrows of the Chester sisters chased after Erica like golden threads on a sewing machine.
この化け物。縫われて刺繍になるに
グッドグッドグッド。
Even the golden arrows couldn't catch up with Erica. Finally, Erica reached the bottom of the tower and empty cartridges were ejected from the golden bows. Next.
役立たずの塔でしたっけ？
Erica, who had now landed on the ground, slowly stood up and tapped the tower from behind her with the handle of her scythe. Jesus. That tiny tap cut the final string that held the tower together, and the whole thing fell in on itself with an earth-shattering crash. Once again, the dark tsunami rumbled forward through the rubble and smoke.
我こそは真実の魔女フルドエリカなり。今こそ真実にて黄金鏡を解体する。土は土に、幻は幻に。終わらせてあげますよ、あんたたちのハクチューム。さあさあ、思い出してごらんなさい、亡霊たち。本当はもうとっくに死んでるんだってことを。
The goat tsunami swallowed everything up. Erica gawked from atop the debris. When she saw them sink under the black sea of goats, Erica gawked from atop the debris of the tower.
さあ、殺せ殺せ、皆殺しになさい。全員の首を切り落として槍に突き刺して掲げなさい。怒号と真実の渦に飲み込まれて消え去ってください。1986年の亡霊たち、さようなら。
Oh, fuck. Everything's just going by so quickly. Ava had broken the magical circle around the key beforehand after all. By the time Balor and Angie reached it, it was falling apart like the sand in an hourglass. They tried punching and kicking it to make it break faster, but nothing they did hasten the process. Just had to fucking wait. Ugh.